Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game by Matt Forbeck, and we're going to talk about the Iron Snow Campaign, Season 1, Episode 3, and let's get into, so at this point, Punisher and Spider-Man and have helped Green Goblin defeat the Enchantress and Sabertooth. They defeated them in the New York City Natural History Museum, excuse me. And they found Enchantress and Sabertooth at the Sabertooth Tiger exhibit, right? So they take these two captive, and it's the New York City police. And the New York City police are able to take these guys captive because Spider-Man, Punisher, and Punisher shot Sabertooth twice. Spider-Man beat the crap out of Sabertooth at the same time. Green Goblin did. And Green Goblin knocked Enchantress clean out. Now, the way he was able to do that was he just sucker punched her in the middle of a spell, right? So they knocked them both out, and the police and the New York City police take them over, right? Or actually take possession of them. Now, this is fat, man. Oh man, this is why I love Dungeons and Dragons so much. So, and wait a second, Scott. This is Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game. No, this is just D&D under another name, in my humble opinion. And the reason why is okay, Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game is a fantastic system, but it's just D&D under another name, in my opinion. The reason why is, if you think I'm wrong, look on page 2. You'll find Gary Gygax's name. Look on the back page. You'll literally see Dungeons and Dragons listed on the back cover of the Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game. And really, what Matt Forbeck did was he improved Dungeons and Dragons and gave it to Disney. It's pretty incredible. But the reason why Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game is so good is it's done by literally a Dungeons and Dragons designer who worked directly with Gary Gygax. It's just dripping with Gygaxian epicness. But it's so good. But one of the things that I really love is, and I cannot express, okay, I'm going to divert a little bit here. Please be patient with me. Okay. I love to bicycle. I bicycle all up and down the upper East Coast of America. So I've been to Boston multiple times. I've been to New York City more times than I can remember. I've bicycled in Philadelphia more times than I can remember. Literally dozens, for both of those, right? Actually, you know what? It's probably a dozen, maybe a dozen and a half trips to New York City, and probably 3 or 4 dozen trips probably 50 to 100 trips into Philadelphia. Washington, D.C., right? And the reason why I ride all over these cities on my bicycle with traffic is you could see a city in a way you simply cannot see it when you're in a car, right? It's just, one, you can go anywhere you want, and if anybody gives you the side eye, you can just yeet out so fast, that you don't have to deal with it, right? And I feel like Dungeons and Dragons, and what Marvel Multiverse Role-Playing Game does is it lets you interact with with the Marvel world, with the Marvel worlds in ways you can't anywhere else. So, I was just thinking about this, right? We ended this session with Enchantress and Sabertooth being taken over by the New York City police, right? Now, they're both knocked 6 ways to Sunday, literally beaten into unconsciousness by Green Goblin, Spider-Man, and Punisher. But what's fascinating is the New York City police cannot hold them, right? They have to call in shield or sword. I love that. I thought about that. I ended the session with the New York City police have them, right? And I'm no, that ain't gonna work, right? They're gonna have to call in, shield. But before they did that, they definitely they needed. So the New York City police were investigating what happened, right? So at first I was like, okay, who's gonna solve this mystery on why Enchantress was here and what she was doing with Sabertooth, right? So at first I said, oh, Doctor Strange comes, and then I went, wait, I'm sorry. I literally backed myself up, and and the reason why is I said, yeah, actually it's not that. Actually, they call the Sanctum Sanctorum, but it's not Doctor Strange who comes. It's Wong, right? Now the gold player knew who Wong was, and I love Wong. I think, and what's really fascinating is, Marvel comes to us from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, from the Marvel streaming shows, from the Marvel comic books, and from Marvel Lego, right? There's so many powerful vectors that Marvel comes to us from, and we experience Marvel through these, right? And you know what's wild? Sam Raimi is pickles, okay? I don't like pickles. I've never, 20 years ago I bit into a pickle and I was like, this is disgusting. I don't ever want to eat this again, right? But I don't think pickles are bad. I think I don't like them, right? Like, Sam Raimi's is pickles to me. I think he's a talented director, but I don't like his stuff, right? And believe it or not, I walked out of Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, despising Doctor Strange. He was a character I had zero interest in. I didn't like him as a person. I think Benedict Cumberbatch did not really make him an attractive hero, right? But Wong is the bomb, right? And I absolutely love the MCU's Wong, right? And that actor is phenomenal, and I really enjoyed him. If you haven't seen it, watch Three Body Problem. That actor crushes it in that show. And I cannot get enough of MCU Wong, right? So I put him right into this, into Iron Snow, my campaign with a golden player, right? And so Wong shows up, and Wong puts unconscious. He puts Enchantress into a circle of salt. And then he hits it with some magic, and it lights up, and there's runes all over the floor. And then he wakes up Enchantress, and he's imprisoned her, right? And he walks over to Green Goblin, and he says, hey, I've imprisoned Enchantress, and she's imprisoned now. She cannot escape my wards. And those wards, any question asked to her, she's bound to answer truthfully, right? So you can ask her 3 questions, right? So I said, Green Goblin, what do you want to ask? And this is fascinating. This is so fascinating to me. Gold Player's like, oh, no, that's not me, man. That's Spider-Man, right? So he's kind of stepping back and being like, hey, I'm trying to learn from Spider-Man. And he's right. Like, Spider-Man should have asked the questions. But also, when I'm running, my Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, I want to put the player as center, right? But I really love this. So Spider-Man asked the question, hey, why were you here? What were you doing for Sabertooth? And she says, okay, well, I was in Broxton, Oklahoma. And do any of you out there know what Broxton, Oklahoma is in Earth 616? So it's Asgard. Asgard was brought down from, the realms, right, to Earth, and Asgard is now on Earth. This is one of my favorite things in Marvel. And so on our Earth 616, Asgard is on Broxton, Oklahoma, right? So Enchantress says, Sabertooth came to Asgard, and I was on Asgard, and I lost a bet to Sabertooth. And because I lost the bet, I had to do what I lost the bet for. Go to New York City with him, take the saber-toothed tiger that was in the Natural History Museum, make it real, make it a living, functioning saber-toothed tiger, just bring it to life again, because it's really just a preserved one, and then multiply it by 100. And saber-toothed tiger was going to wreak havoc in the middle of New York City, and really just terrorize everybody, and then steal as much as he could, and also draw others. His idea was to kind of to begin to make a 3-block area of New York City controlled by him and animal allies, which I love. Like, that's pretty cool, right? And so that was what she was doing. She was bringing to life basically Sabertooth's plan to essentially populate a small portion of New York City with saber-tooth tigers that he would reign over, and then any other animal allies that were going to come with him, they were going to carve out a part of New York City for themselves, right? Pretty cool, right? And so, and that's it. That's where we ended, was just them understand, and they stopped Sabertooth and Enchantress, and they also figured out what their plan was. And that was the end of episode 3 of Iron Snow. And it is an honor to have shared this with you. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion on Iron Snow, Season 1, Episode 3. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion. When you get in the comments and send your traffic, please consider like and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.